Probably a logged follow-up to the pets video I just did. This is still the 5th of November, 2022. Time of day is about 41 after 10 o'clock at night. I'll tell you, sometimes I just need to get a little bit more information instead of on that one, because sometimes it just hits me that something I have to say about it. Hell, you gotta be kidding me. Bug war. Oh, what are you doing, you bastard? I'm gonna have a cockroach war still. Now these damn things are over. God knows how long. Gotta get these damn things out of here. There's too many of them. I got about 1 million of them here. I still have to battle my way in some nights. Okay, let me get back over to what I was trying to say. Pets. We should have talked about having places being invaded by insects. I know some people actually use insects as pets. Could you make a cockroach out of a pet? I sure the hell can't. I'm dealing with these bastards all the fucking time. And because of the shit I've been going through concerning about my breathing left and right, I begin triggered. I begin triggered too many damn times, one way or another. The other times when I'm not being triggered, focusing on things I need to take care of, and I'm trying to work on it. But the problem is, I'm still getting triggered, and I'm not getting the work done as I should have. You know, the thing is, I'd love to hear Fox News complain about is people with mental health abilities. Oh, they should be locked up, they should be hospitalized, they should. You know, you can have a smiling son of a bitch right in front of their face. Lie to their ass that they're doing alright, because inside they're a miserable pain in the butt. How many stars did we lose over the decades because they had mental health illnesses and they lost their lives for one reason or another, but they kept their mental illness and their depression and whatever they were suffering through a secret, silent. It's like going through Universal Studios backlot tour. You see the facades all over the places and how they're cared for to a point until they're needed, and then they get touched up and aged or whatever. But the back probably looks like hell at this point over here because of the structure. There's nothing to support it to have a full structure just on the side. And this is what we do for the emotions at this point. This is how it is when you're dealing with emotional issues. Because you sure as hell don't want to keep showing people what the hell's going on. It's embarrassing yourself to cry in front of another person and say, I'm fine, I'm just getting triggered. I just saw something and it's tearing me apart. I'll be okay. I just need more tissue paper. And the people are going to be looking at them like, demon from hell. You're not normal. You're not grubbing or grumbling, or you're not smiling like crazy. You're not laughing your head off. What's wrong with you? You look like a miserable pain in the butt. Even though the other person's saying he's also a miserable pain in the butt as well. That's the thing I've been dealing with these days. I could try showing as much humanity as I can on videos like this, and I can talk about it as much. When it comes after the crying, sometimes I do pull myself to that motion there, as long as I know I get triggered, and it's going to affect me, and I'm going to be crying my eyeballs out. Now, I know there's trigger words I use all the time, but there's also the activation of it as well. It could be subtle, anything that can melt my butt. Try, for example, movies, television shows, when you see the actors and actresses performing on the screen and they are showing how much humanity and human love that they could possibly show. Like say, for example, a reunion of two people that they hadn't seen each other for years, or they're going through an intense situation. That would probably cause and create PTSD in a lot of regular people. But when they get to this point where they trying to show genuine feelings and affections for this person, it's a major waterfall, cascading effect. It's like if I'm a cliff, I'm gone, landslide. I'm exposed. And if there was a flat road and I'm just a cliff, the cliff is going to the road and it's going to pile high with debris. I could try throwing in as many metaphors as I possibly can to describe how the grief affects a person, and then the after effect is the collateral damage that they've done, didn't realize, or the collateral damage they got to get through. But who's the damage? The person grieving. That's me, damn it. My damage is I still have to get damage assessments myself and see how the hell I'm doing at this point over here. Mine just totally completed in spirit and in body and in emotions at this point over here. That's a major turn of events. It's a major thing happening to me, and holy crap, how do you deal with that stuff? Dealing with loss of people that I've had in my lifetime, and the last 3 people that made a major impact in my life, has put me into the point where I almost wanted to commit suicide and started thinking about it. And I know that's a danger zone right there. The thing with this, I don't want to do it, but I know eventually I will. It's just not today. And I sure as don't want to be today. I don't want to be it tomorrow, but tomorrow hasn't even been there yet. I can't affect yesterday because yesterday's already gone. And I've already talked to psychological people about this. I talk to therapists about it and shrinks about it. It happens, it's going to happen. And the thing of it is, it may not be preventable, but I'm not looking forward to it either. And I'm not expecting to do anything to get it accomplished. I don't want to do it. But I know emotionally I can be affected to do it. Emotionally, I can be driven to the point where nothing else matters anymore. I am feeling drained to the point where nothing cares. I don't care about anything at this point. And I just want it to end. How many times have I come across people like that in my lifetime? And also hearing about it, seeing about it, reading about it. How many people in my own life have done that? First guy I know is Jimmy Baker, a kid back in junior high, 7th grade, first semester. Kid's been picked on by his older brother, who was a senior named Greg Baker at the time. Had family disputes, maybe he did love him, maybe he don't, I don't know. But Jimmy always complained about his big brother. And then the next thing we hear at the end of the semester, Jimmy's no longer alive. And Greg is transferred out or something. Because I hadn't seen Greg after that. And I don't know if he ever blamed himself or felt bad about his younger brother killing himself. It affected me and a few other people that we knew and liked each other. I didn't know how to think about it or feel about it. Because as a kid, you realize he's gone. Not the true psychological impacts concerning about the damn thing that was happening in front of me that I could have prevented. Probably if I had dealt with the guilt right there. But I didn't have the guilt during that time. I didn't understand. It wasn't mature enough for that damn thing to kick in. Or maybe you should kick in. Who knows? I've also had a couple of cousins kill themselves, not to mention an uncle killed himself with a shotgun. It also made me start thinking about the last two people in my life, in my bloodline, whether or not if they were trying to kill themselves one way or another. Now, I tried to talk about this one with my counselors on this, because maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, thoroughly convinced enough that when you're dealing with suicide, it screws around with your logic center in your brain, and not to mention your heart. I'm not talking about the pump either. That you're no longer feeling that you are part of humanity, or you're being human. It's going over here. You're tired, you're sick, you don't want to deal with life itself. Maybe God will have pity on you when you take the final plunge. How many times have I heard that shit before? And yet, as I said before, I thought of it. When I lost Ma, I didn't get a chance to really grieve. And I know David didn't grieve. Big brother did. And we kept it in because we were kept busy. David went up skewed with something else, and long story on that one, I think I did a video on that one. But in the end, I think he killed himself mentally, which translated into physical. And it's not exactly the grieving part, it's also because he had a stroke and the complications of the stroke that affected him so much. There had to be complications to the damn respiratory problems that he had, and my brain is still trying to wrap around why he passed away so quickly. Now, dealing with my mother, man, it's a different thing altogether. Long-term grieving without the grieving. Long-term mourning without the mourning. This is dealing with loss and pain of loved ones and siblings to the point where you just give up and lie down in the bed and that's it. That was Mom. That was Mom. She lost a lot of her own biological kin, but also the husband and wives were associated. They were all family. And a few cousins here and there. And friends. All played a difference. They all played a part. And it just took her out. She just couldn't express it a long time ago. And find a way to battle through it. Just had to shove it away and deal with it until it's just too late. She was having more heart issues than anything else. You know, my mother and my brother kept worrying about me and my damn heart issues right after I had a heart operation at the age of 4 years old. And when we found out around 25 through cardiology, it was healed sufficiently enough that I didn't think they'd have any issues with it. So about 5 years later, they said, "Oh, you're fine." So I didn't care about the damn heart, whatever happened afterwards. You know, I didn't see any other cardiologist to see whether or not my heart was going to be plugged in a few gaskets or not. What I do know now, in retrospect, if I continued on with the pressure concerning about not grieving and not mourning people I loved, that would have been putting a harder stress on my heart right there. They have been doing studies these days, I've heard and read, about broken heart syndrome. Some researchers off the state, off the country, and maybe I think in a couple of them in the country here, are trying to do these things to see if it is an actual physical malady. It's caused by a lot of emotional grief and pressure and pain and loss, and how that stress is putting a lot on the heart to keep pumping, and the blood pressure keeps going. That's what scares me the most. Knowing about my own family history at this point. Knowing how I am physically able to be a major contender for heart condition, for heart disease. Fat. I love fried foods. I try to be healthy on some occasions when I can. But I gotta afford the damn stuff, that is. I like salads. Don't mind me, I like salads. When I can get my hands on them, I'll eat them. Slurp them all up and have something of a refuge. It just gets to me that not acknowledging my own pain, my own loss, my own grief of my family, not saying a word about it at all, not putting it into any kind of media to record it, to talk about it, to explain it to people, explain it to, I don't know, but just to explain it, how and why I'm going through this, how it affects me. Why can't I see these things happening on these major news programs, one major network goes crazy on kids because they're college students because they've got stress relievers of pets in the dorm and they're laughing at them over it. And believe me, I was thinking it, but I wasn't about to say it. And the thing is, I could have agreed with every one of those damn students trying to get the stress relief that they can in college dorms regarding it. But how many one of those students, I wonder, and very few of them, dealing with grief, pain, and pressure while studying at the same time? Now that's a thing that goes through. That's a study right there. Because I would be in line for that. After I lost my brother in 2018, I already completed maybe about 3 years. That's 6 semesters. And I wasn't done yet. I was just taking 2 classes at a time. Getting the prerequisites done, but also getting some of the other stuff I needed to get done. And my brother passed away. I had to take a semester off, deal with domestic issues. I've been talking about that a lot in the other videos. People move over the damn head, get rid of damn bed bugs, and split over here. Dealing with a hell of a lot of grief, and also trying to get through school at the same time. Well, I had to take a semester off during the winter break, during the fall, through the winter, and head back into spring. And when I did, I was crawling it back in with feet. But I managed to get a class in and take care of things. Because I wanted to get myself studying into it. Just one class at a time if I could. And I had to apologize to the professor for dropping previously, and he understood. That's one thing when I'm at the college that I am right now, community college, is I keep email contacts with them to let them know once I'm in a class. I need to let them know what's going on all the time. I need to let them know who and what I am and what I'm dealing with at the time. And sometimes I'll develop these wonderful relationships with them. It's nice to have some kind of peer support of sorts. My age, and I'm saying that their ages are in my ballpark between 40 and 60. I'm feeling okay with these guys, and so is the other students. So I'm okay with that. And how will they be able to deal with students who are going through the emotional stages of depression and of the grieving and the mourning and stuff? How are they dealing with a loss? Even it could have been a loss of a pet. And even a loss of a pet is just as hard as losing a kid. And the hardest damn thing for me to do is going to the vet for the final time. Not just walking away from the vet. Going through the process. I can't tell you how many times I've been through that, and it still tears my ass apart. How many of my good soul friends have gotten through that, and have passed beyond the gates, and they have crossed over the rainbow bridge, so to speak. And how much I missed the living crap out of all of them. And here I've got several of them over here in ashes. The thing is, I should have told them in the previous videos the final act that you have to do, and then you have to carry it on throughout the rest of your life. You can't bury it. You have to deal with it. You have to work with it. You have to acknowledge it. You have to cry through it. You have to scream your hands through it. Because you just lost a family member. This is the reason why I keep doing the videos like I'm doing right now. It's important to get me while I'm able to think with clarity without being triggered. But I know I'm triggered right now because I'm feeling the emotional buildup right now inside. And something will get me going, and then the waterworks start. I'll be doing the praying and pleading to God all the time in this one. Then afterwards, there'll be another day or 2 or 3 that I am depressed as hell. Nothing gets done, and everything else goes hell in a handbasket. Even this one, I'd be showing it over to these people out there, posting it out there right now. Because I need to. Because this is imperative. This is my life. I know I'm a form of idiot. It goes without saying. But I know also that somebody's also saying to me, you're not a fool and you're not an idiot. You're a wise man. I'm like, only a fool thinks himself as a wise man. His wisdom comes through many ways. If he considers himself a wise man, then he has got to be an egomaniac, looking for acknowledgement and a pat on the ego's head. I'm not doing that. I'm a fool, I'm an idiot. But I know I observe, I learn, I talk, I grow. I experience pain and growth. Sometimes it takes a hell of a long while just to go through that stage of the pain. Too much. And right now, my mind's telling me one particular second, head to bed. So, you guys in the grieving world, in the sleep deprivation area of life, try to get a nap if you can. one more thing. I find out when I'm going through a hell of a lot of grieving, I'm going through a hell of a lot of liquids, that's for sure. And my bladder is having a field day with me. I'm saying this because for me, I'm getting to be a point where I am not able to communicate effectively as I should. My mouth gets dry too many damn times. So it's either a Gatorade mixture and or water. I have this at my bedside all the time. Not to mention having a little acid reflux control milk that does the body good, coats the food pipes all the way down to the stomach, where I don't have to feel the acid reflux going on. But for the most part, these things keep me pretty mellow afterwards. Keeps me liquidated, and I'll be drinking my coffee in the morning. I'll tell you something, I do miss my pets, my friends. I miss them a great deal. As I miss my family. And my pets are still my family. They're four-legged. And my kin are two-legged. I wouldn't change anything just yet. The thing is, I know people are trying to find different ways to get past it. Looking past it, trying to be positive all the damn time. Instead of being negative. And me being negative all the damn time, because I'm being realistic and pessimistic. I wasn't pessimistic all the time, but optimistic just a little bit, but now life's beating me down so much that I have to be pessimistic a bit, and realistic. But there's still a little bit of hope left out there. I still want to hold on to it. And it's hard as hell to think about. Because now I gotta be a goody two-shoes because I got hope and let's dance around and party around and do this kind of stuff until I knocks my ass out again. Then I'm gonna say, oh, every kind of curse word I can think of at this point. And let me get this damn thing up before I fall asleep and I have this mic on.